some secrets are best buried forever in the howling wind. For 3 years, Frank, the conductor, waved at the girl at the window every day, thinking it was the warmest appointment in his boring life. But he was wrong. Today, he risks being fired and stops the steel behemoth, determined to find out why the girl suddenly disappeared. When he pushed through the weeds and walked step by step towards the dead wooden house, standing in front of the window he had stared at thousands of times, the scene he saw made this tough man fall into an ice cave in an instant. The thing behind the glass was not any answer he imagined, but a terrifying truth that could completely tear his soul apart. Frank Harrison's life was as precise, repetitive, and uneventful as the train lines he had driven for 30 years. Since his wife died and his son went away to his hometown, the cab has become his whole world. The only consolation is the girl who suddenly appeared 3 years ago. She was always at the window of the lonely 2-story wooden house, wearing the same pale yellow dress, waving to him rain or shine. Her appearance, like a ray of light, instantly illuminated Frank's gray life track. He didn't know who she was or why she insisted so much, but he began to look forward to that brief meeting every afternoon. He would blow his whistle in advance, to long sounds, in response. It became a silent language between them, a wonderful bond. This girl, as Frank called her, the little sun by the railroad tracks, healed the loneliness deep within him, the loneliness that he couldn't even speak of to his son in California. He even felt that the girl he had never met knew him better than his own relatives. However, a week ago, the light went out. The window became empty, like a black hole, swallowing all Frank's expectations. On the first day, he told himself it might be a coincidence. On the second day, he began to feel uneasy. On the third day, an ominous premonition wrapped around his heart like a venomous snake. He couldn't imagine what had happened to her, and the anxiety even exceeded the focus on work. Today, when the train approached the familiar area again, and the window was still dead, Frank couldn't take it anymore. He lied to the dispatch center that the track was faulty and stopped the train decisively. The co-pilot looked at him in horror. "Frank, you will be banned from driving for life. There are some things that must be answered now," he answered hoarsely and jumped out of the car. The autumn wind swept up the fallen leaves on the ground, and the atmosphere was bleak. The wooden house was more dilapidated than imagined, as if abandoned by time. Frank's heart beat like a war drum, and with every step he took, his anxiety grew. He walked straight to the familiar window, took a deep breath, and stood on tiptoe to look in. At that moment, time seemed to stand still. There was no girl behind the window, no furniture, just an easel. There was an oil painting on the easel. The girl in the painting was wearing a light yellow dress with pigtails and was smiling and waving. The painting is lifelike and full of vitality. No wonder it looks like a real person on a speeding train. A hoax, a prank that lasted 3 years. Frank felt a wave of vertigo and anger. Just then, there was the squeaking sound of the door shaft turning behind her. A white-haired old woman came out trembling with a cane. Her eyes were sad and empty. "Are you the one on the train?" she asked. "Yes, ma'am." Frank tried to calm himself down. And the girl who waves every day." Tears welled up in the old woman's muddy eyes, and she pointed to a family photo on the wall of the house. "Her name is Lily, my granddaughter." Frank looked in the direction she pointed, and the girl in the photo was exactly the same as in the painting. 3 years ago, the old woman's voice was as soft as a sigh. "A car accident, just at the intersection ahead, took away my son, daughter-in-law, and my Lily. Her favorite thing to do at that time was to stand here and wait for the train. She said that Dad would take the train home." Frank's blood seemed to coagulate. He heard his own trembling voice. Then this painting. It was drawn by Lily herself. The old man burst into tears after she left. "I felt like the sky was falling. I left her paintings here as if she had never left. Until one day, I heard your whistle blow. Those two long cries were like a response to Lily. From that day on, this became the only reason for me to live. I know you are responding to her, and I know she has not been forgotten. It turned out that what I had responded to in the past 3 years was not the innocence of a child, but the broken heart and endless thoughts of a grandmother. He thought it was the girl who cured him, but he didn't expect that his whistle would also become the light of redemption for others. I fell ill last week and didn't have the strength to move the painting out. The old man explained the reason for the empty window. Thank you, sir. Thank you for remembering her. Frank fought back his tears and said goodbye to the old man when he turned to leave. The old man suddenly stopped him and handed him an old envelope. It was found in Lily's belongings, she said. She wrote it the day before and never sent it. I don't know who to give it to, but I think it's for you. Frank returned to the cab and, trembling at the puzzled eyes of his colleagues, opened the envelope, which contained childish handwriting and a small train sketch. The letter read, "Hello, dear Mr. Train. I see you every day, and your whistle is soft. I know you are a good man. Grandma said that everyone has a secret in their heart. I guess your secret is the old photo in your pocket, right?" At this point, Frank's heart skipped a beat. He subconsciously touched his chest pocket, where his wallet was, holding a yellowed photo that was never shown. He continued reading, and the last line of the letter made him unable to move, as if struck by lightning. The little brother in the photo. He must miss you too. Don't be sad. He told me that he is in a place where there is no pain, waiting for you. Frank whipped out the photo of his first son, a child who died of leukemia when he was 5, leaving him with few memories. This was the deepest pain and secret that he had hidden for more than 30 years and had never mentioned to anyone. How could a girl who died 3 years ago know this secret? What did the last sentence in her letter mean? What is hidden in this letter from heaven? Is it a coincidence beyond life and death, or the beginning of a deeper mystery?